I have some more breaking news. I told you we had a lot going on this morning. The Vikings reach a 2-year extension with Kirk Cousins. Stephen A., your thoughts on this move?
Well, I just think that I think that Kirk Cousins needs to be credited for his brilliance. I mean, the man, he doesn't win too many playoff games. I think he's only won one in his career. Half the time he doesn't make the playoffs, yet he positioned himself to get a guaranteed $84 million over 3 years a couple of years ago, and now he's got a 2-year extension. So he finds a way to make money. I don't know whether it's him or whether it's his agent. He is a very, very nice guy, very, very likable guy, smart, and a really decent quarterback. I certainly wouldn't call him a winner, but somehow, some way, he manages to make sure he gets his numbers and he gets his money. Props to him.
Can I say very quickly, Max, I don't mean to cut in, but the one piece of this that really surprised me, and there'll be a lot of surprise around the league, is that you know who really likes him and thinks he's a nice guy, Stephen A., is Kyle Shanahan, the coach in San Francisco. And a lot of people were looking at one more year of Cousins, give Garoppolo one more year to prove that he's worth what they've given him, and then that Cousins would wind up in San Francisco. So the fact that he gets a 2-year extension in Minnesota takes that off the table, and I guess it does, despite everything you're hearing, put the Brady possibility in San Francisco back on.
Well, Greeny, let me say this real quick before Max chimes in. I would tell you that if you're Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers, I don't blame you for not making that move or for not pushing to make something like that happen, in light of how Kirk Cousins ended up performing in the postseason against them. Obviously, it wasn't entirely his fault, wasn't protected enough. Dalvin Cook was held in check, didn't have much to work with that particular day. Adam Thielen wasn't 100%. Okay, Stephon Diggs couldn't get off, and you're going up against an elite San Francisco defense, so you got to take all of that into consideration. But if I'm just fresh off of a performance where I've completely annihilated you and negated anything that you want to do, I then cannot turn around in the offseason and acquire you, even if it's at the expense of Jimmy Garoppolo, not when your performance is the freshest thing in my mind when you went against us. I couldn't do that, so I don't blame them.
I think teams are more likely just to look at who they think going forward is the best man for the job. And Cousins has that kind of stink on him where you don't believe he'll rise to the occasion. He did a couple times this year, and if he can get rid of that, he's in good stead around the league. But I want to look at this Cousins extension and look at the contract Tannehill just signed and the contract that Garoppolo signed. The guaranteed money is not like Carson Wentz and Jared Goff and those guys. Forget about annual average. It's guaranteed dollars that we're talking about. And those are smart teams. If you may even be better off with a quarterback who's good enough to get the job done and is not going to cost you $100+ million in a guarantee. He's only going to be $60 million in a guarantee. Who's good enough to get the job done, other than the guy who makes you believe there's more upside? Because in the end, are Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, is the production, in fact, especially when you need it most, is it different than Tannehill or Garoppolo or Kirk Cousins? Because some of these guys are getting $100 million and some of these guys are getting $60. And it's what John Elway said when he didn't want to throw away money on Osweiler. He said there should be a middle class of quarterbacks. This is the upper middle class of quarterbacks. Cousins and Garoppolo and Tannehill. Upper middle class quarterbacks by NFL
upper middle
standards.
Class, I can go with that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.